Ever wondered how we know how old you are and where you're from? Well, it's all to do with this, the national census. Every 10 years, the government asks a load of questions to find out how people live and to plan for the future. To coincide with this, the BBC's school news team commissioned their very own survey.
Because Newsday this year is on the 24th of March and the main census, which happens every 10 years, is on the 27th, we thought it would be nice to find out a little bit about how our school reporters lived and a little bit about their lives. So we worked with some very clever people at the University of Plymouth to make some questions up, and it's great because 24,000 school reporters and their colleagues at school have answered those questions, and I think well over 300 schools have taken part, so we've got a really big sample.
So we all got a questionnaire asking a range of questions from how long it takes to get to school to what we think about the royal family. We filled them in and sent them off to the BBC.
1 week later and the stats boffins were collating, tabulating and number crunching. And this is it, the BBC School Report Survey.
Right, so which results were interesting for Stretford then?
Most of the students have mobile phones with the internet.
Amazingly, our school returned more surveys than any other school taking part.
When asked what the biggest problem facing the world today is, most students at our school were concerned about the gap between the rich and poor. 33% compared with just 90% nationally.
What do you think has contributed to the widening of the gap between rich and poor, and how do you think we can prevent this?
I think the government has a part to play as they are raising university fees and they're raising VAT and raising prices.
Tell us, why do you think that the gap between rich and poor has widened, and why?
Because poverty continues to grow everywhere and governments and charities don't always have enough money to give to everyone who is suffering from poverty.
At Stretford Grammar School, a number of students were asked what would they want to achieve when they were 30. Statistics show that 33% of the school wanted to be happy when they were 30. This is different from the national 24%.
What do you think makes people happy? Is it to do with people's multicultural backgrounds?
I think it is, yes, because when people meet people from different cultures, then they learn to appreciate each other, and so they know more about different cultures and they're happy in their society.
Do you think that happiness has a limit?
No, I don't think happiness has a limit, because happiness is the key to life, and without happiness you can't go anywhere.
Happiness motivates you to be able to work hard, and you get better jobs and earn lots of money, then you can become famous.
We thought we'd ask someone who knows a thing or two about happiness what they think. Jason Cook is a comedian.
What did you want to achieve when you were 30?
When I was your age, I wanted to be a mattress tester when the guy asked me at school, because he could stay in bed all day.
Do you think that happiness is limitless?
I think life is an adventure where you can find happiness constantly all the way through it. So I suppose it is limitless as long as you keep searching for it. That's my answer to a very deep question.
We have found out some really interesting results.
At Stretford Grammar School, there are more children speaking 2 or more languages than compared with the national results. Our school is really multicultural, which brings us many benefits.
This has been Stretford Grammar reporting for BBC News School Report.
Way!